I'm the devil and I could kill you. Those are the words that Breonna Bongolin just testified that Sean Diddy Combs once threatened her with. Bongolan, a friend of Cassie Ventura, is on the witness stand right now testifying that the music mogul dangled her over a 17-story balcony. Bongolan testifying that the incident left her with bruises, neck and back pain, along with night terrors.
Breonna Bongolin told the court today she still doesn't know why Sean Combs dangled her off a 17-story balcony and why he randomly approached her at a photo shoot, threatening to kill her.
What's up, everyone? I'm back with breaking news from the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial that has reporters and legal experts completely shocked. A key witness just delivered testimony that could seriously impact this entire case. Before we dive in, hit like and subscribe for real receipts, real stories, and zero fluff. You'll want to see how this one ends. Breonna Bongolin took the witness stand today and made allegations so dramatic that the whole courtroom went silent. We're talking about life-threatening situations, intimidation tactics, and testimony that could be crucial to whether Diddy gets convicted. Let's break down exactly what happened in federal court today and why it matters so much. Today was a major turning point in the federal case against Sean Diddy Combs. Breonna Bongolin was called as a witness, and her testimony immediately grabbed everyone's attention in the packed courtroom. According to court reporters, Bongolan told the jury that approximately 9 years ago, Sean Combs held her over a 17th floor balcony during what she described as a terrifying experience. She said she feared for her life during this incident. The detailed nature of her testimony, including the specific floor number and time frame, suggests this isn't just a random accusation. Federal prosecutors spent significant time investigating her claims before deciding to put her on the witness stand. In federal court, witnesses must be thoroughly checked before they can testify. The fact that Judge Arun Subramanian allowed this testimony means he believes it's both relevant to the case and credible enough for the jury to hear. This kind of dramatic testimony is significant because it suggests prosecutors think they can back up these allegations with additional evidence or witnesses. Federal prosecutors are using Bongolan's testimony as what lawyers call pattern evidence. This means they're trying to show that Diddy repeatedly used similar tactics over many years, not just in isolated incidents. The government's strategy is to prove that Diddy ran a criminal organization by using threats, violence, and intimidation to control his business operations and personal relationships. Bongolan's balcony story could be one example of these alleged tactics. In federal criminal enterprise cases, prosecutors need to show ongoing criminal activity rather than just individual crimes. They're painting a picture of how Diddy allegedly operated his businesses through fear and control. The fact that this alleged incident happened 9 years ago helps prosecutors establish a timeline of alleged criminal behavior. They want the jury to see a pattern of conduct spanning many years. If the jury believes Bongolan's testimony, it could make them more likely to believe other witnesses who claim similar intimidation tactics were used against them. Diddy's experienced defense attorneys will have multiple opportunities to challenge Bongolan's testimony through cross-examination, and they're likely to focus on several key weaknesses in her account. First, they'll question her memory. 9 years is a long time, and defense lawyers will ask how she can accurately remember specific details from such a traumatic event that happened so long ago. Memory can be unreliable, especially under stress. Second, they'll investigate her motivations for testifying. Defense attorneys will explore whether Bongolan has any financial reasons, legal troubles, or personal grudges that might make her want to lie about it. If she has ulterior motives, the jury might not trust her. Third, they'll look for inconsistencies in her story. If Bongolan told this story differently in the past, or if details don't match up with other evidence, defense lawyers will highlight these contradictions to the jury. Finally, they'll argue that even if this incident happened, it doesn't prove Diddy ran a criminal enterprise. They'll claim this was an isolated personal dispute, not evidence of organized criminal activity. To understand why Bongolan's testimony matters, we need to look at the specific federal laws Diddy is accused of breaking. He's not just charged with individual crimes. He's accused of running what the government calls a criminal enterprise. The main law being used is called RICO, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. This federal law allows prosecutors to go after people who allegedly run criminal organizations through patterns of illegal activity over time. Under RICO, prosecutors must prove that Diddy operated a criminal enterprise through multiple acts of racketeering. This means showing that he committed various crimes as part of running his alleged criminal organization, not just random illegal acts. Testimony about intimidation tactics, like the alleged balcony incident, could help establish how Diddy allegedly maintained control over his organization. Prosecutors argue that he used fear and threats to keep people in line and protect his criminal operations. However, the legal standard is very high. The government must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that an organized criminal enterprise existed and that Diddy was its leader. This requires substantial evidence beyond any single witness's testimony. Federal juries receive detailed instructions on how to determine whether witnesses are telling the truth, and several factors will influence how they view Bongolan's testimony about the alleged balcony incident. Consistency is the most important factor. Juries look for witnesses whose stories remain the same each time they tell them. If Bongolan has told the story before, and the details match her courtroom testimony, that strengthens her credibility. Corroborating evidence also matters significantly. While witnesses don't need independent proof to testify, additional evidence supporting their claims makes juries more likely to believe them. This could include other witnesses, photographs, documents, or physical evidence from the time of the alleged incident. The witness's demeanor during testimony and cross-examination is closely observed. Juries watch how witnesses respond to tough questions and whether they seem honest and straightforward or evasive and defensive. Potential bias or motivation to lie is always relevant. If Bongolan has any financial incentives, plea deals with prosecutors, or personal reasons to want revenge against Diddy, defense lawyers will highlight these to suggest she might not be truthful. This testimony comes from what appears to be a massive federal investigation that likely took years to complete. Federal authorities don't bring criminal enterprise charges lightly. They require extensive evidence and resources. Federal investigations of this type typically involve multiple agencies working together, including the FBI, DEA, IRS, and other specialized units. These agencies have sophisticated tools for investigating complex criminal organizations and gathering evidence. Investigators probably interviewed Bongolan multiple times over several years before deciding to make her a trial witness. They would have checked her story against other evidence and witness accounts to verify its accuracy and relevance. The decision to proceed with charges against Diddy suggests federal authorities believe they have substantial evidence beyond individual witness testimonies. They likely have financial records, communications, and other documentary evidence supporting their case. However, having evidence and convincing a jury are two different challenges. Prosecutors must present their evidence clearly and persuasively to get a conviction. Despite the serious nature of these federal charges, Sean Combs retains fundamental constitutional rights that protect him throughout this trial process. The most important principle is the presumption of innocence. Diddy is considered innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. This means prosecutors must prove their case with credible evidence. Diddy doesn't have to prove his innocence. The Sixth Amendment guarantees his right to confront witnesses against him. This is why his defense attorneys get extensive opportunities to cross-examine witnesses like Bongolan and challenge their testimony through aggressive questioning. The Fifth Amendment protects Diddy from being forced to testify against himself. He can choose whether or not to take the witness stand, and the jury cannot interpret his silence as evidence of guilt. Due process requirements ensure that all evidence meets constitutional standards for reliability and relevance. Federal judges carefully monitor proceedings to ensure fairness and adherence to legal procedures. These protections exist to prevent innocent people from being wrongly convicted, regardless of how serious the charges or how much public attention the case receives. So, what do you think? Is Breonna Bongolin's testimony about the alleged 17th floor balcony incident a nail in Diddy's coffin? Or do you think she is lying about the whole incident? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.